Hello, welcome. And you're joined with another episode to discuss economics with Dr. Rajapathirana. And today we are going to discuss about Professor T.N. Srinivasan. Dr. Rajapathirana, just for someone who really do not know about Professor Srinivasan, how would you introduce him?
Well, it's very easy to introduce him. He's one of the most celebrated economists we had in the world.
Right.
He passed away about 5-6 years ago. What he has done a lot of good work. He is especially good in making mathematical models to test economic theories,
Right.
particularly in international trade. And he was very straightforward. He said things very clearly and straightforward way compared to other economists. He never is straight. I mean, I can remember experiences when once I was reading the World Development Report, I give it to him. Once you give it to something to him, he looks through it, you can be sure it's okay. So,
Right.
Not only me, everybody else used him. And the other thing is that he was a member of the World Bank Economic Review, so was I. And when we had a very difficult situation where we cannot decide whether to publish that particular paper or not, I was always happy to say, I put up and say, we lost TN.
Right. You call him TN?
He call him TN. Because his name is an impossible name to
pronounce.
By American president. Thirukadamal, something like that. Yeah.
Right.
And very humorous also, and a great economist, because particularly his ability to play with mathematics, advanced econometrics and things were like child's play for him.
Right.
And we benefited mostly because we couldn't do the stuff he did. We sent our things for him to look at, and he would sometimes say, Sarat, don't do this.
Right.
Do something else.
Okay.
Yeah, and that would be good advice. Yeah.
Since you spoke about his mathematical modeling,
Yeah.
Generally in the Sri Lankan context, a subject like economics is more considered, and I don't know whether it's even right to say it's an art subject, and people forget mathematics, which is involved in economics.
Yeah.
Could you explain in the sense how good Professor Srinivasan and why it is so important to have those mathematical models? Because sometimes people think this economics is some sort of an ideology that you believe it like a religion rather than actually doing those econometrics testing. Could you shed some light on the impact of the mathematical modeling that Professor Srinivasan brought to this subject?
Yeah, others also have done,
Right.
but he is particularly because he's quite a deep thinker, and he's really well trained in mathematics and in econometrics, and he has a great reputation for his own research work he had done, and been published. And so, coming back to your question, I think that today it's impossible to be a good economist if you didn't have a mathematical background. Now, I'm damning myself by saying it, but that is the truth. Yeah.
So it's about mathematics and also the statistics, is it?
Yeah, actually, it's different things. Statistics really allows you to evaluate the outcome of an experiment in a way, which he is very good at doing. Mathematics in economics is a sort of sine qua non. When I went to America on a scholarship, on a Fulbright scholarship, they asked me, how is your mathematics? I was very crafty then because we did arithmetic.
Right.
Now, if I told him I did arithmetic, they'll say, what are you doing here?
Right.
And show me the door. So I said, it's okay. That's how I said that it's okay. And after having said that, I took all the mathematics classes available in that university,
Right.
University of Massachusetts.
Right.
And so I learned it the hard way. I had no help, once or twice I asked senior things who were there, and so then I have Japanese friends who are very good in mathematics. Actually, because they can't do English very well, I should say this.
Right.
They took on mathematical economics.
Right.
And they were very good at it.
Right.
So, but they say, sir, there's no point. You can just cite the case. This theorem was proven about 200 years ago.
Right.
So, that mathematics part.
Right. Right.
So, I think that you need mathematics for economics.
Coming back to Professor Srinivasan, I think his empirical research mainly in India.
Yeah, mainly India. Actually, he led the way. He was a member of the Indian Institute of Statistics, and highly respected in that field also. And the other thing is that his graduate work was in the United States.
Right.
And at he was at Yale University.
Yale University.
Yeah.
Right. And then he was also more on the investment and the development policies was his
very good in that area also. The thing about him that he is thorough in what he does.
Right.
And he is able to connect these things together very well because of his mathematical abilities and because of how we have been thinking about developing countries. And he and Jagdish work together a lot.
Right. Right. In your notes, you have referred to him as a first-rate reviewer.
Yeah, reviewer, yeah.
Why was that? Why do you?
Because as my personal experience, if I had done something and I want it reviewed by first very well, he is the man.
He's the person.
Once he says it's okay, it's okay. Because he's never shy to say this is a crap. Why are you doing it?
Right. He will tell you.
He will tell you to the face. And that's why I said when we have a difficult case to decide whether to publish a paper, when I was in the World Economic Review, and 6-7 of us, the last is I said, we lost Ian.
Okay.
Oh, that is crap. Have you seen that? He's
Right.
taking as different, he will be very straightforward.
Right.
Yeah.
And also when it comes to global trade, there were a lot of, many economists who have argued on the side of how it is globalization helps the developing countries.
Yes.
What was his?
I like to address that because
Yes.
I have worked on that area.
Yes.
There are two schools.
Right.
Jagdish and et al. They are on the idea that globalization leads to greater free trade, therefore there are the great benefits to it, to put it very simply, right? And then there are others who think that globalization is bad for poor countries.
Right.
Then I have another authority that I am citing that I have not cited in your notes. That is Sujit Balla.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Again, economist and started as an engineer and became an economist. And his work shows that actually globalization has been favorable to poor countries than being unfavorable. So that was very helpful to get people who are well known for the work they have done. And the work that I have done myself on Sri Lanka shows it is favorable and not unfavorable. But very famous economists who may remain.
Economics, you mean Professor Stiglitz?
Stiglitz is hell bent, saying it is he is that it is
unfavorable for developing countries.
Unfavorable. Poverty will increase. Number one. Two is that income distribution will worsen. Those two things.
Right.
In the work that I can talk about what I have done in this book, which is come out one of these days.
Right.
They are supposed to have mailed it to me.
Right.
I'm scared that I have lost it. That doesn't work out for Sri Lanka. It has not been bad for Sri Lanka by all different type of measures.
Right.
So it's very disappointing to have he's a very eminent economist.
Yeah.
Jumping the gun and saying that they are, whereas empirical what than Balla et al. and them show that
yeah.
that you going from fundamentals. We know that there is no argument today among economists that free trade is what we should have, optimal.
Yeah.
So when we put see tariffs and things to stop it, then if we have the opposite of a benefit, it's a tax on the country, and for particularly bad for poor country because can't get up from that position when the world is not open to them.
Correct.
So by globalization, by opening their doors to everybody, and have good economists look at things and get it evaluated, we know there's no such a situation. Sujit didn't find, Bala didn't see it for India. I my more recent work, we don't see it. But Sujit's work is first rate, he did it about maybe 5, 6 years ago. Yeah.
Got it. What is any other thoughts about your good friend TN or Professor Srinivasan? Anything else that you would like to share with our audience, Dr. Rajapathirana? You have mentioned that you have also got his assistance multiple times, I think, on your World Bank Development
Report.
World Development Report.
Yeah. I have to say with great happiness that he liked it.
He liked it.
Yeah. That's a huge thing coming from him. Yeah.
Got it. Anything else that you would like to shed some light on his work and why it is important even for today, and something that our audience can or recommended readings that?
Yeah, I mean he had done a lot of very, very remarkable work. Other thing that I want to say is that you are very closely associated with Jagdish also and Anne. They are very close friends. They are in the same field. Rather than fighting with each other, they are supporting each other in the sense that they do similar research and they come to similar results. And so I find them first rate, so fortunate to know, to be in their classes and to know them. And once I entered, there was an Indian discussion, and I put up my hand and said, as a Indian of some 3,000 years vintage, I also want to talk about what we are discussing. So, yeah, I said 3,000 years ago we were part of India. Yeah, so he said, no, you can say anything you like. He said, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rajapathirana. Thank you very much for joining us to discuss about your fond memories and information about Professor T.N. Srinivasan.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us. Please subscribe us. We are available on Advocata Institute. That's our English channel. And also, if you want to watch our Sinhala content, please go and subscribe for Advocata Plus. And we are also available in Tamil language under Advocata Kural. And as you know, you can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, in any social media platform, and you can watch our content. See you with another episode.